sis, it's Lakeisha, your sister coach, and also the co-founder of A Sister's Truth. And here at A Sister's Truth, we help women to discover, define, and live their truth by taking a road less traveled. Our mission is to help every woman embrace change because change is where growth happens. Now, we specialize in personal development to help you embrace your authentic selves in order to live in your truth and live within purpose. So, with all that being said, I want to come on here and just have a little candid conversation with you guys about sacrifice. Now, sacrifice actually came up in a conference call I was having with my sister. We was doing a planning session for our upcoming year because we have a lot of great things coming out for you guys. We're so excited. We cannot wait to share. So definitely follow us across social media at A Sister's Truth so you can stay abreast of everything that's going on. And then while there, just click on the link in our profile in order to get on our mailing list so you can, be the first to know. But back to the reason for this video. So I want to come on here and talk to you about sacrifice. And like I said, it came up during a conference call with my sister during our planning session for the upcoming year because my sister made a statement. And to me, it was profound. She said that she was going to consciously make sacrifices in order for us to reach our goals and achieve everything that we want to achieve this upcoming year. And that was profound to me because how many of us out there actually sacrifice for ourselves? How many of us actually sacrifice for something that we want to do that would benefit us personally? Now, if you are mothers out there, the number one person that you usually sacrifice for is your child, right? Us as women, we are caregivers, we're nurturers. So it's easy for us to sacrifice what we have going on in order to take care of somebody else. But the fact that my sister said she was going to consciously make an effort to sacrifice to make sure that her goals are reached in the upcoming year and not just her daughters was really profound. And I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about sacrifice because I want you to know that to sacrifice for yourself is okay. It is okay to make some sacrifices in your life that is going to help you personally. It's not a selfish thing for you to think about yourself every now and again. It's not a conceited thing. There's nothing wrong with it because how can you take care of everybody else if you're not taking care of yourself? How are you going to motivate your children to go to school and to set goals and to be that attorney, that ball player, that scientist that they want to be if you're not going out and reaching the goals that you're reaching for yourself personally? Right? We have to lead by example. And the way to do that is to make sacrifices. You got to sacrifice your time every now and again. You got to sacrifice some funds every now and then. You have to sacrifice maybe those Jimmy Choos that you like to buy every month. I'm just saying. You got to make some sacrifices in order to get yourself to that next level, whatever that next level is for you, right? Because the number one thing you need to do is to define success for yourself, right? Because that is the key to success. Like that is the secret, is to define success for yourself and then live up to that definition. But once you do that, then what? You have to make the sacrifices, right? So now I'm going to give you 3 tips on making sacrifice. The first tip I want to give to you is to know your why. It's important for you to define why you have set the goals that you have set for yourself. It's important to know why you want to move to the next level in your life. What is your why? Right? And then I just don't want you to think about it in your head. I want you to actually write it down. Post it, on your vision board somewhere. Write it on the goal worksheet that we have for you. That's for free that you can download. Know your why. Because when you write it down and acknowledge it, it becomes real. That's what you need to do. You need to know your why because it's going to provide you the encouragement and the motivation that you need to keep working towards that goal and to keep working towards that next level in your life. Because let me tell you something, life happens and life happens to all of us. And in order for us to keep moving past all the trials and our tribulations is to know our why, period. The second tip that I want to give to you for making sacrifices is to know your truth. Knowing your truth means that you know your worth. When you know who you are, making sacrifices should come easy for you because you know your worth. You know why you should achieve the goal that you have just set for yourself, because you know that you are entitled to have whatever it is that you want to have in this life. You are entitled to that. You are deserving of having what's in your heart to have. You are entitled to make all your dreams come true. You are entitled to that. So knowing your truth means that you know your worth and you know that you are entitled to greatness. You are entitled to that. And when you walk around and treat yourself like you worthy of greatness, the other people around you start to fall in place. They start to treat you like you worthy of your greatness, right? So when they come to you and say, can you do this and that for me? And you say no, because doing that would take you off of your plan for your life. I mean, it's easier for them to accept that no, because they know you're worthy, because you treat yourself like you're worthy. So know your truth so you can know your self-worth. And the third tip I want to give you is to celebrate the small achievements. Like celebrate all the small milestones. Because when you have this one big great goal, there are several different steps that you have to take in order to get to that ultimate goal, right? So when you at step 1 and you are at a point where you have successfully succeeded step 1 to move on to step 2, celebrate. I'm going to need you to celebrate that. I'm going to need you to acknowledge that you just went from step 1 to step 2. I need you to acknowledge the fact that you just went from step 1 to step 2 and was able to get over all the hurdles that it took for you to go from step 1 to step 2. I need you to acknowledge that. And I need you to celebrate those small milestones. Because when you celebrate those small milestones, you know what you're celebrating? You are celebrating progress. You are celebrating progress. In my heart of hearts, the number one reason people fall off of their goals is because they don't see progress. That is the number one reason. And you know why they don't see progress? Because they're so focused on that big goal, they're not even looking at all the little small hurdles they needed to get over in order to get to that bigger goal. And we're going to end that on today, because you're going to start acknowledging and celebrating the small milestones. Because once you see that progress, that is going to motivate you to keep on going. That's going to inspire you to keep on going. Because you're not going to let somebody come in and wreck your flow when you can see the end goal in sight. You're not going to do that. Right? So celebrate the small milestones. Right? And when you celebrate the small milestones, you'll see that you're a lot closer than what you thought you were. You are a lot closer than what you thought you were. A lot closer. And I'm speaking from experience on that, because doing that same planning session with my sister that brought about this whole conversation about sacrifice to you, my sister had to remind me of where we started and where we are now. She had to remind me of that. Right? Because once again, I was getting stuck in a not yet. And I was getting stuck on focusing on this big overall goal and how out of reach it can feel sometimes. Because let me tell you something. If your goal feels out of touch and it feels like it's outside of your reach, then that's the goal that you need to be setting. That's the goal you need to be working towards. That's the direction you need to be going in for your life. Going in the same direction of that goal that seemed like it cannot be reached. That is the direction you need to go in. And my sister had to remind me of all the small things that we had already done. Right? Because I have lost focus for a second. And that's what we do. We lose focus because we're not celebrating the small milestones. So you don't see that you've already made progress, and you don't see that you're almost there. You just have to keep on going. You just got to keep going. So just to recap, 3 tips on making sacrifice is to One, okay, define your why so you can know exactly why you have set this goal for yourself, or why you want to move on to this next level, so you can use that as inspiration and motivation to keep going, because life is going to happen, right? And when life happens and those struggles come up, what's the first thing we tend to do? We tend to, let our goals fall to the side. But we're not going to do that, because we're going to identify our why. We're going to put it somewhere visually where we can always go back to it and have it as a reminder. Okay. The second tip that I want you to do, the second thing you need to do in order to make a sacrifice so you can feel fulfilled and everybody around you doesn't feel neglected, is to know your truth. Because knowing your truth means you know your worth. And when you know your worth, you treat yourself in a worthy manner. So your wants, your desires, your goals are important to you. Because you know your worth. You know that you are entitled to your greatness. And when you know that, everybody around you is going to know that. And everybody around you is going to fall into place. Because let me tell you something. People will only treat you how you allow them to treat you. So who better to give other people the best example on how to treat you? You. You are the best example to show others how to treat you. Period. The third tip for making sacrifices, to making the whole process of making sacrifices really, really easy, is to celebrate the small milestones. Celebrate the milestones, because the small milestones that you achieve equals progress. And when you see the progress, you're going to want to fight harder. You're going to want to go longer, because you're going to be able to see that goal in sight. You'll be able to measure where you were and where you are now and how far you have to go. Because for all you know, it's that next phone call. It's that next email that you send out. It's that next event that you show up to. But you gotta see the progress. So celebrate the milestones. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with celebrating the little milestones, right? Because you have to take steps. That's how you get from here to here. It's taking small steps. So every time you take one step, I need you to celebrate. I need you, to do your little twerk dance or whatever kind of dance you want to do, right? Because I want you to celebrate the milestone so you can know that you are closer than what you thought. So, how many of you are going to start making sacrifices for yourself? Not for your child, not for your husband, not for your elderly mother, but for you. And how many of you are going to start making those sacrifices and not feel guilty about making those sacrifices and follow through so you can get to the place where you want to get to? How many of you are going to start doing that? Hopefully these tips will help you out. But if not, if you need more one-on-one, personal, in-depth conversation and in-depth sister coaching, contact us. Go to assisterstruth.com and sign up for a one-on-one coaching session. It's really that easy, guys. It's really that easy. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Or if you don't want to leave them below and you want to have more of a private one-on-one, shoot us an email at info@assisterstruth.com. We're your sister coaches. We are here for you. All right? So we'll see you next time.